What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerdy Mark channel. I'm Sid the Nerdy Mark, and this is my review of Raw and Smackdown for this week. Now, first of all, I do have to apologize. My voice is a little bit different, I know, because I have been having a bit of a cold these past couple of days, so my voice is, if it sounds a little stuffy, that's why. But other than that, I do have my Avengers Infinity War spoiler discussion out now. It is on my channel. Please go check it out. It is a bit long, but I think it'll be well worth your time. I had a good friend of mine named Alex do this review along with me, so appreciate him to being on that. But it is a pretty long one, so if y'all gonna watch it, strap in, relax, grab some popcorn, and I hope you guys enjoy. But for now, let's not worry about that. Let's talk about Raw and Smackdown for this week, and we'll start with Monday Night Raw. So, Raw does take place in the United Kingdom. It takes place in London, England, as does Smackdown Live, and it starts out with Roman Reigns, who gets a thunderous amount of boos as usual. He comes out and he complains about WWE management. He says that he was robbed by WWE management. He was robbed at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and I just dropped my headphones. And he was also robbed last week by Jinder Mahal after he cost him that match. Roman Reigns calls out Jinder Mahal. Instead of Jinder, we have Kurt Angle come out and tell Roman that Jinder Mahal will be facing Bobby Lashley and Elias later on tonight for a chance at the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Roman has no more chances, as said by WWE management, whoever that may be. Roman says, you know what, Kurt, I understand you're doing your job, but I'm going to go do mine. So he goes to the back and he finds Jinder Mahal, who immediately throws Sunil Singh at Roman Reigns to get his ass kicked. And then Jinder beats on Roman for a while, but Roman does get the upper hand eventually and start beating up on Jinder, hits him with a Superman punch. He's about to go for the spear, but he is stopped by security. This will play into something a little bit later on. We now move into our first match of the night. Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion, versus Kevin Owens. And this is, of course, an IC title match. And what else do you want me to say about this except that it was a fantastic match? Both men do amazing work in the ring. Kevin Owens is undeniable in the ring. Seth Rollins is undeniable in the ring. He continues to impress me. Really, I have to say, Seth Rollins has definitely come a long way since last year. He was kind of in a bit of a slump for a little bit ever since he broke up from the Authority, and he was having his feud with Triple H, even though the aforementioned Triple H would barely show up on TV, so they really couldn't progress that feud. But I think after he got over Triple H and that hurdle, I think that's kind of when it started to get a little bit better. Well, no, after his really crappy feud with Bray Wyatt, I think then they kind of realized, okay, you know what, this is not working out. We need to do something different with Finn Balor, and why not put the title on him, which I think was one of the best decisions that WWE ever made. But the match is really good. A lot of great spots, some high-flying spots from both Kevin and Seth. Kevin tries to go for the senton, but he misses. Seth hits him with the curb stomp to retain his IC championship. Again, great match. Just go watch it if you haven't already. We now have our first qualifying match of the evening. We have No Way Jose taking on Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode. This was also a pretty good match. I liked it. All three guys really got their stuff in. Baron Corbin taking over for most of this match because he's a big guy, and but of course the match does end when Bobby Roode does take advantage of Baron Corbin's carnage and hits the glorious DDT onto No Way Jose to win the match and be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Backstage, we did have Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas come up to Kurt Angle and telling him that without the Miz, they're no longer the Miztourage. And they say that we want to call ourselves the A-Team. But of course, Kurt Angle says you can't do that because it's already a TV show. And it was also remade as a movie as well. So they say we're going to call ourselves the B-Team. B standing for best. The newly rechristened B-Team do have a match against Breezango. And this was a really entertaining match. I loved Everything all four of these guys did, it was good stuff. With the newly rechristened B team do win the match, and and they celebrate like they can't even believe that they won. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, I think they have a great future ahead. This should be good. I love the chemistry between these two. So looking forward to see what they do with these guys moving forward. We now had a 6-woman tag match. We had the Riot Squad versus the team of Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Ember Moon. Okay match, nothing spectacular as I have kind of come to expect now from women's matches. I believe in women's rights and all that good stuff, but they're just not doing anything special with the women of Raw as of now. I hope it changes in the future. But it was an okay match. It was a decent match. I don't know why the hell Bayley wasn't involved. But the match does end when Natalya hits the sharpshooter onto Liv Morgan and wins for the babyfaces. Up next, we had the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Leader of Worlds, taking on the Revival. Another fun match, another decent match. Good exhibition quality bout here. And I gotta say, their finisher is looking a little bit better. It's called apparently the Kiss of Deletion, because basically it's a double Sister Abigail. So that's fine. I mean, it looks better now. I think the last week when they did it, it didn't look as good. But this week, it just improved. And also, I gotta note that we did have the B team taking notes on the Raw Tag Team Champions, so that because they want to challenge them for the belts sometime soon. So that was pretty cool. I like that. We now had Sami Zayn come out and cut a promo on Bobby Lashley. He blames Bobby Lashley for his vertigo and his losses past couple of weeks. He refers back to the interview that Lashley gave. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? You see, it was a forgettable interview. I don't even remember. He first of all says that the beret that Lashley was wearing basically calls gimmick infringement and all that because Sami Zayn wears a beret. And Sami Zayn also pulls out a doctor's note and puts on his glasses. And I'm calling gimmick infringement on Sami Zayn because I wear glasses. Sami Zayn does read the doctor's note out to everybody and gives us all the definition of vertigo. Thank you, Sami. I never knew what vertigo meant. He announces that he will be bringing out Bobby Lashley's sisters that tried to kill Bobby Lashley, yet he still loves them. He's going to bring them out, and he's going to expose the real Bobby Lashley. Now, I gotta say, we finally have something to care about for Bobby Lashley. So I'm excited to see what they do next week, because Bobby Lashley is much more of a straight-faced babyface, while Sami Zayn is like the zany type of a heel. So I like this dynamic. I'm excited to see where this goes. I actually can't wait for next week just for this segment. So earlier on, we got a interview from NBC regarding Ronda Rousey, and in that interview, she was interrupted by Charlotte, who challenged Ronda Rousey to say, I'm not going to do the woo thing because my voice. Nia Jax comes out and challenges Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank, to which Ronda Rousey accepts. So I'm excited to see this match. I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's not ready, but you know what? This is going to be a good match. I don't care. This is going to be good. Personally, I do think someone like Ember Moon should deserve a shot, and it's not just because she's from Texas. It's because she's a damn good wrestler. So I wish it was Ember Moon, but I'm okay with Rousey as well. So I'm excited to see this match at Money in the Bank. And speaking of women's wrestling and Money in the Bank, failed attempt at a segue, we then had our next qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Alexa Bliss taking on Bayley and Mickie James. Quite not surprisingly, Mickie and Alexa do team up for a little bit to take out Bayley. Then, of course, they kind of go at each other. So I guess they're kind of teasing a split between these two, maybe, which I'm okay with, just because they really didn't do much as like a pair. They really didn't do much except fat shame Nia Jax. So I'm okay with them splitting up. Bayley does get some offense back in. She does get her comeuppance. However, it is not Bayley who goes into the Money in the Bank ladder match. Instead, it is Alexa Bliss after hitting a DDT onto Bayley to win. Now she is entered into the ladder match along with Charlotte and Ember Moon, so I'm excited for this now. We then had Finn Balor and Braun Strowman team up to take on the team of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Really good dynamic here. Two smaller technical wrestlers and two big giants I loved this. This was awesome. They did tease a little bit of McIntyre versus Braun, but they're kind of saving it for, I guess, later on. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to see that match to actually happen. The match is really good. I thought this was great. Very technical match between these 4 competitors. But it does end when Drew McIntyre's on the outside. Braun Strowman tackles Drew onto his greatest Royal Rumble trophy, which he comes out with every time now, that every time he's wrestling. So that's interesting. But the trophy does break, which kind of sucks because, I mean, it took a while to, I guess, make that. It was held up by 2 swords. I honestly was thinking that Drew McIntyre would just take one of the swords and, start hitting Braun Strowman with it. No, not stabbing him, but, hit him with it or something like that. I mean, you use it as a weapon. But this causes a distraction for Finn Balor, which allows Dolph Ziggler to roll up Finn and win the match. Really good match and way to protect Braun Strowman. I'm glad they're doing that. Don't make him eat a pin just yet. Let's have the McIntyre Strowman feud go on. I would love to see more of that. So earlier on backstage, we had Jinder Mahal being taped up by a official and Kurt Angle asking him if he can wrestle. Jinder Mahal does say that he can still have this match, and he's walking out for his qualifier match, and then he gets speared by Roman Reigns through a cardboard wall. And Jinder is effectively out of commission, so obviously we are, whether we like it or not, getting this match at Money in the Bank. I'm kind of accepted it now, so I'm not going to be too angry. We do have a replacement for Jinder Mahal, and that man is Kevin Owens, who actually did wrestle for the IC Championship earlier in the night. And then, of course, he told Kurt to give him another chance, and Kurt said no. So he called up Stephanie McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon did tell Kurt to put Owens in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. So the new match is Bobby Lashley versus Elias versus Kevin Owens. It is time for our main event, Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens versus Elias for the Money in the Bank qualifying match. Not a bad match. I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. All 3 guys really getting their stuff in as well. There's a spot where Elias stops for a minute and brings out his guitar and has JoJo hold the mic for him, and he's trying to perform, but Kevin Owens interrupts him, so the match continues. But the match does end when Bobby Lashley looks like he's going to pin Kevin Owens, but he is pulled out of the ring by Sami Zayn and thrown into the barricade. Gets hit with a haluva kick, allowing Owens to pin Elias, a fallen Elias, and win the match. So Kevin Owens is now in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So, SmackDown Live begins with Renee Young interviewing Daniel Bryan in the ring. And Daniel Bryan talks about how when he first got cleared, he was just happy to be back, but not anymore. That's not enough anymore because last week kind of opened his eyes after he lost to Rusev. And now he wants the WWE Championship. And he's about to continue talking, but he's interrupted by Big Cass, who continues to emasculate Daniel Bryan because of his short stature. Daniel Bryan has heard enough. When Big Cass gets in the ring, Bryan just beats up on Cass, attacking the recently surgically repaired leg of Cass, continuing to just inflict so much damage on it. And of course, we have Daniel Bryan looking tall. So, good way to start out the show. I guess we're continuing this feud for some reason. I guess because Miz is in the Money in the Bank match. Now, we now had our first match of the night. We had the New Day taking on the Bar, and the winning team lets one member of that team go into the Money in the Bank ladder match. This was a good match, a really fun match, having some really good spots between all of these guys. It was Xavier Woods and Big E taking on the Bar, by the way. It was great. It was really good. Cesaro gets some good stuff in. Big E has an amazing spot where he spears Sheamus out of the ring. So that's how the match ends. Big E spears Sheamus out of the ring, and Xavier Woods hits a top rope maneuver. I forget which one it was. I think it was the Shining Wizard, but I'm not sure. And hits it on Cesaro to win the match. Now we have the New Day. They're qualified for the Money in the Bank, but only one member can be in it. And if rumors are to be believed, I think it is going to be Big E, because he is being rumored to get a big singles push. So I guess this is the beginning of the end for the New Day. Look, I get it, all good things must come to an end, but it's kind of sad, man, to see the New Day kind of split up. I am gonna miss the New Day quite a bit, but hey, we have to move on. We have to give Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston a time to shine as well. We finally get the most highly anticipated debut of Andrade Cien Almas, aka El Idolo, and he has a squash match with a local jobber. It's pretty quick. Almas does win with the Hammerlock DDT. By the way, he was on my list of people who should go to the main roster. If you saw the Lizard Nerdy Mark episode, you can check it out now if you haven't already. After this, Zelina Vega gets on the mic and basically puts the entire Smackdown Live roster on notice. So, welcome officially to Smackdown Live, Almas and Vega. Please do something good with him. Do something good with Almas. He's worth it, WWE. He really is. It is now time for the Royal Mellebration. Carmella is introduced by the Town Crier, walked out into the ring by Beefeaters, and she talks about how she beat Charlotte Flair. It's a pretty standard promo by Carmella, so it really didn't do much for me. And then she is, of course, interrupted by Hometown Girl and SmackDown Live General Manager Paige, who gets a huge reception, and this is your house chants and whatnot. Paige does say that Carmella will be defending her title at Money in the Bank. Baby girl. Carmella does disagree to this. She says, I am not going to be doing that. I'm not defending it. And Paige is like, yes you are, against this woman. And out comes Asuka. She's challenging Carmella for the women's title at Money in the Bank. Why exactly is my question. I mean, I know, no doubt this is going to be a good match, but the logic, WWE, what's the logic behind this this match, I wonder? Because at least I understand Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey, because Nia Jax actually challenged her, but Asuka doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So backstage, we did have Rusev and Aiden English in a segment together. Rusev got his own room courtesy of Aiden, but Rusev does say, for someone who has his own holiday, I think I deserve something a little better, and I agree. And Aiden English is like, oh, but this is London. What else can you expect? And he's about to sing a song for Rusev when he does win Money in the Bank, but Lana interrupts, and she says, Aiden, I want you to save that voice because I have a match against Billie Kay to be able to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and we will be Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. By the way, the thought of that just really excites me, but I know it's not going to happen, so that's okay. I am wondering, though, however, does this mean that we're not splitting up Rusev Day? Because if that's the case, I'm glad. I don't know if this is going to continue to build towards that. I really hope it doesn't, because I really love Rusev Day, and I don't want it to end. So please do not split up Rusev Day. But I'm excited for Lana for being in this match with Billie Kay. Good luck to her next week. We have another backstage segment with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, formerly of Absolution, and they go up to Paige and they tell her that her plan did not work. Excuse me, to bar Sonya Deville from ringside. Mandy Rose still won despite that, so she should be put in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Paige says, yes, you both are going to get a qualifying match against Becky Lynch. And they say, oh, you mean a handicap match? She's like, no, it's going to be a triple threat match. So as I mentioned, we do have Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose, and this was pretty interesting. The whole story here, talking about Mandy and Sonya kind of turning on each other a little bit. So I think they are going to split them apart. Very similar to Raw this week with Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Just pointing that out there. I think this is okay to split them apart now that Paige is in the SmackDown Live General Manager role. I think it is fine. You can split these two up. Let them have solo careers. Let Corey Graves have his fun every time Mandy Rose comes out. But the match does end with Becky Lynch going over. She wins. She's entered into the Money in the Bank ladder match. So congratulations to Becky Lynch. Looking forward to see what they do with Sonya and Mandy going forward. It is time for our main event, but before that, we did announce that Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles will be going at it once again at Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship. We do have another match, though, before that, between these two as the main event. And the winner of that match does get to pick the stipulation for this match that they're going to have again at Money in the Bank. Does that make sense? We do have promos that both AJ and Nakamura both cut. You know, I know in my last video I did have Nicolas Cage share some of my sentiments on a couple of matches. However, I thought this time around I would have him summarize the interview that both of these gentlemen gave. So, take it away, Mr. Cage.
I'd like to take his face off.
Thank you so much for that insight. You summed it up perfectly. Now please go and make better movies. So it is time for our main event, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, with the winner picking the stipulation for their match at Money in the Bank. You know, it's a good match. It's a really good match. Honestly, the best match that these two have had, just because this is the first match with a definitive finish since WrestleMania. So this was cool. This was cool. I liked it. It was great. The match does end when the referee isn't looking, and Nakamura feigns that AJ hit him with a low blow, which is of course one of the central themes of this whole feud. And AJ's like, "No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it." And then Nakamura takes advantage of this distraction, hits him with a Kinshasa to win the match. This makes no sense. AJ has been winning the matches, and Nakamura, when there's no title on the line, Nakamura can win. And I'm pretty sure Nakamura is going to lose as well, since he does get to pick the stipulation. That usually should signify that the person who picked the stipulation is going to lose. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good match, but, you know, I want to talk about this real quick. I am getting a little bit tired of this rivalry. I can't believe I'm saying this about AJ Styles and Nakamura, but the fact that we've had so many matches in the span of a month, and we have like a lot of false finishes for two of those matches, that kind of really steals the thunder from this whole feud. So I don't know what they're going to do with this. I think Nakamura should definitely stay heel for a while and let him have a heel run. Let him go feud with somebody else. Honestly, let him feud with Daniel Bryan. That would be a good feud. I would love to see a match between those two. That's my 2 cents on this whole feud. It's kind of growing a little stale. So I do hope that Money in the Bank is the final nail in the coffin. So overall, I did think both shows were a little bit meh this week, just because I just didn't feel anything special about both of these shows. However, I will say Raw has improved from last week, so I guess Raw is slowly but surely finding its footing again. Please don't make me eat my words, WWE. However, I will talk about some highlights from both shows. I did like KO versus Seth Rollins. That was a good match. I really enjoyed it. McIntyre and Ziggler versus Strowman and Finn Balor was really good. Everything with Roman Reigns spearing Jinder Mahal, that was just a gratifying thing for me to see. I just love that. Thank you, Roman Reigns. You're awesome. I did like the main event with Kevin Owens versus Lashley versus Elias. Speaking of Lashley, Sami Zayn's promo was really good. As far as SmackDown is concerned, Daniel Bryan, beating up Big Cass was really good. The main event was good with AJ and Nakamura, but it is getting a little bit stale, so let's do something about that. I did like the women's match, Becky Lynch, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. That match was really good. Excuse me. Of course, The Bar versus New Day was also a really good match. I'm interested to see this dynamic play out. I love the Rusev Day segment. That was good stuff. So those are my thoughts on Raw and SmackDown. Let me know what you guys thought about both shows in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media and tell your friends about the Nerdy Mark. Until next time, thank you all so much for watching. This is Sid signing off. You guys take care. Bye-bye.